Welcome everyone to the Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation's Make Every Moment Count Fall Luncheon. The Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation was started 30 years ago by some forward-thinking individuals who understood the importance of supporting young, expectant, and new parents at a very special time, the birth of a child. The Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation is dedicated to the health and well-being of New York's most vulnerable young parents and their babies. Your support helps us nurture healthy moms, healthy babies, and positive parenting, making a lifetime of difference for those families. Our goals are healthy babies, children who are ready to learn, and parents who nurture their children and reach their personal goals for success. In our 30 years of operation, we have funded over 140 agencies and made a positive difference in the lives of thousands of young parents and their babies living in high-need communities all across New York State. Last year, our program served 2,600 pregnant and parenting women and their family members. This year, we're funding 18 programs in high-need communities all across New York State, from Olean to Buffalo to New York City to Long Island. And part of my job is to visit all the programs, and I can tell you that they are doing a fantastic job. The staff are so talented and committed, and they'll do whatever it takes to help the young moms and their babies. They help the families access prenatal care, health insurance, and safe housing. They educate expectant moms and dads on nutrition, infant safety, and positive parenting. They empower and encourage young parents to stay on track, get an education, and achieve their dreams. And I can tell you they'll do just about anything. They travel long distances in very rural areas to meet with parents. They'll teach a mom how to swaddle a crying baby. They help the mom do math problems so that she can pass her GED. They just do everything.
As Joy pointed out, and as I've mentioned, I've done stories on the organization, and I did have the pleasure of hosting the Foundation's first luncheon back in 2011. So I'm well versed on the important services that are provided by the group. If you're new to, if this is your first lunch, anybody a first timer here? Anybody not? No? Okay, so we will fill you in. There are phenomenal services that are provided. They promote prenatal care for children. They improve birth outcomes. And if you caught a recent story, New York still has a ways to go when it comes to healthy babies being born. And that's part of the work here. They're supporting local young parents, but also those across New York State in many areas where there are few other services.
First, because of the admiration I have for the mission of the Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation. Second, because of the dedication and commitment of Elizabeth Walker, Joy Griffin, and all the members of the board and staff. As has been noted, for 4 years, between 1973 and 1977, I served as chaplain at Community Maternity Services, which is one of the beneficiaries of the foundation. In that capacity, I would celebrate liturgy every Saturday evening at the dinner table. Afterwards, the Mass vessels would be taken off and we would enjoy dinner together. And then, during the course of the week, I would conduct a group for the residents there at Community Maternity Services. And I was always so very impressed by their courage, by their discernment, by their maturity in coping with a very important decision about whether to place their child for adoption or foster care or whether to assume parenthood. They always made that decision with wonderful advice, counsel, affirmation, and prayerful and careful discernment. They are given all the support they need to deal with the pain of separation if the child is placed for adoption, or with the with the challenges of parenthood if the child is retained. And they are given wonderful support regardless of which decision that they make. Support that enables them to be able to move forward with the assurance that they have the resources that they need to cope. And so I thank all of you for your presence here this afternoon, for your support of the mission of the Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation, which I know that your presence represents. And I pray that God will continue to shower choicest blessings upon the work and the ministry of the foundation, so that it can continue to enable women to live happy, fruitful, successful, and constructive lives. So thank you for all that you do on behalf of those in need, and God bless you.
And a couple of years ago, as I mentioned, I had done the story on community maternity services. And the moms all spoke movingly about their experiences. And what really struck me was not only the program we did the first time that won the award, but then we had done a follow-up. And at that point, the gals were saying, because there was that program is on, what is that, Teen Mother? Is that the name of it? Teen Mom? You know, it's a horrible show. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard, you know, these. And the girls at the program were all saying, it's nothing like that. That's not how life is. And they really wanted to talk about their experience and how difficult it is to be alone and to be a parent. And the staff of CMS said that the teen moms need someone they can trust and encouragement so they can go back to school, go to college, find a job, and probably most important, learn how to be a good parent. I've mentioned her before, one of the moms I still see. She got her GED. She's at Hudson Valley Community College, and she works at the McDonald's in Watervliet. And the best is when I swing by, my bargain delight is to get their dollar coffee. You know, you can't be spending money at the high ticket places all the time. And now it's become a thing I like to drive through because the odds are I'm going to get to see her and find out how well she's doing and how well her son is doing. Each year, 16,000 babies are born to teen parents in New York State, and the consequences really hurt all of us. Teen moms often drop out of school, as she had to do initially. 1 out of 3 teen moms will not finish high school. They won't be as lucky, as fortunate as she was to get the support so she could complete and get a GED. Their babies are more likely to suffer health problems. They are more likely to live in poverty. Their children then are more likely to live in poverty and be unemployed and become teen parents themselves. And you all know what happened this week with the drop in SNAP funding. How much more difficult that has become for them. So I'd like you to meet a couple of special parents who beat the odds. They've got strength within themselves, and they were fortunate to be served by agencies funded by Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation. So I'm going to ask Bernadette Willis, who's now on the board, a former participant, to come on down. She's involved with Mama's House on Long Island. Also, Danny Coolidge and Scott Madden and their children, Anastasia and Winry. They're with the CMS serving Schoharie and Otsego County, and their case manager is Lisa Carl. You here? Come on. Come on. It's all good. You're among friends. This is a good bunch. Yeah, I know. Lunch being served, and I'm calling you away. You know, just like a dentist, right? Your mouth is all full with all that stuff, and they go, so, what do you think about the Giants? Yeah. So I'm going to pull this off, and I want to just ask you guys a couple of questions. And first, hi, let's give them a round of applause. Share with our audience the most challenging thing about being a parent.
I find the most challenging thing about being a parent, especially between a newborn and a 15-month-old, is just time management. Between, giving the newborn constant attention and the toddler who thinks she needs the constant attention. And then on top of that, trying to figure out when are you going to clean? When are you going to cook? When are you going to pretty much do anything outside of help the babies? That's what I think is the biggest problem.
Basically, for me, most difficult part of being a parent would be what they call witching hours, where the kids can cry for no reason. She's usually taking a shower or something when that happens. So for me, it's just trying to deal with that, trying to keep them both calm and under control.
My daughter's now 21, but at the time, the challenge for me was teaching when I haven't been taught, and that's one of the things at Mama's House. I had a lot of support, a lot of women in the staff teaching me how to be a mom and teaching me how to care. I said, well, my mom really wasn't there, but I was taught how to teach.
And I was going to ask, the next question was, how has the program helped you? Well, clearly, that's an answer. And I don't, is there anything you want to add to that, how the program's helped you?
The programs really helped me in two separate ways. The first off is they give a lot of good physical support. I mean, there'll be weeks where he's working, but his hours are so low, we don't know how we're going to afford diapers or socks or shoes. And we know if there's ever a problem, we can call them up and say, is there any way we can get some diapers or anything to help us out? And not only that, but it's a lot of mental support too. If you have a question, like, is this normal, or how do I deal with that? I know I can ask them that, and within the next week, I'll get an answer.
Well, let's see. What was the question? Okay. Well, basically, for being a man, well, I do have a wife, but I know for anybody that was a single father, it could be just as helpful for them. They offer the support with not only with the diapers and with anything that you are looking for, and with the if you're questioned about something, they will have the answers for you. But they also help you feel like you're something, because if you're not you don't have enough money, you can't do anything, you can't provide for your children. You feel like you're just letting everybody down. They bring you up, they can give you what you need to help you along, and they make you feel like you're something instead of nothing.
Bernadette, I'm just wondering, you had the opportunity to get the support. Did you have friends who were in a similar situation as you, single moms, and they didn't, and the difference for you versus them?
At the time I didn't, but that's what made Mama's House come right on time, because I found myself, I'm 17 and I'm pregnant, and a lot of the friends that I had and I was getting close to, their moms was like, well, you can't hang out with her anymore. And but back then it was different, but I'm glad I got the support. So definitely.
And now look what you're doing, how much you're giving back. And before we let you go, what are the dreams you have for your family now?
I think I pretty much just have the American dream. I want to have a house to call my own. I want to have a good car, decent income. And my ultimate dream would be own my own business one day, either a restaurant or a catering company or events planning, something along those lines.
Yeah, well, we kind of, since we're husband and wife, we kind of share about the same dreams right now. For me, I want to provide, I want to have my children have stuff that I couldn't have, let them do everything that they should be able to do, and basically give them the home and the transportation and everything that they need, the education to go with it.
Just basically, I tell them a lot of times they don't understand the staff and some of the direction and advice that I give when I said, believe me, later you're going to remember and it's going to come back to you, the wisdom that they're giving you. And it's all out of genuine concern for you and your family.
Thank you very much. Congrats to the work that you do, Bernadette. We thank you. All the best to you. Bring health and happiness to you. And the little one's like humbling you. Oh my word. Yeah. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch. Thank you very much. The best to all of you. A very happy and healthy holiday season. Take care, and we'll see you next year in those storms, okay? And wish you the best.